I reached out, and what I got, I just saw a response. But Peter, leave me alone. Ah, Mary. Like, and personally, let me say it in you, but I'm going to say you have a lot. Like I don't.
You pass your boundary. I say I know Bro
So
Peter. See,
this person
guys,
has,
let me tell you, Bro Peter is one of the calmest people, even in the youth choir. I'm telling you the truth. This one is not. It's not even because he's here. See, I know he's elder brother. I know his younger brother. So it's not like Bro Peter is cool to say.
So are you saying me I'm not calm?
You calm
just,
down.
Let's be sure.
I'm just trying to emphasize the fact that I knew him back then in youth choir, and if
I
he
guess
says
sorry,
that.
I'm just pulling your leg.
If
Everybody
Peter
tells
says
me
he doesn't do past himself, it is so true because you know they really they cross a boundary. True. Hell,
so
she just
so
said
at that point when I saw, but Peter, leave me alone. I'm like, Peter, leave yourself. Wait, the person I said no. Then he still came. So I was just like, at that point I just shot it.
okay.
Remember, I received the leading in 2017,
Yeah.
and that has helped me. Like I stepped
stay
through.
off any other relationship.
Yeah, so that's why I could tell people that, oh, if you want to get close to me, this
Wow.
is it. Like,
Wow.
so, and at that point when I saw, bro, Peter, leave me alone. I left though. Like, yeah, and thank God. Yeah, I just shot.
You were
I
just
was,
like, you know what, this is it. I'm no longer doing
yeah,
it.
yeah. I know now. So if I'm going to get married to someone, like, it's not force. It's not the person for the person to say, oh, still leave me alone at this point. No, it's marriage, it's partnership. The person must value me, right? So at that point, I just
cancel.
So now coming to her now. This happened in May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think sometime in June. Now nobody, right? Like nobody. I've had like some other friends, I'm like, so this time around I was not like, no, this time around I will be intentional. This
Yeah,
one
strategic.
intentional about
intentional. She was strategic.
I'm serious. Like this one is not. This is my life. Like I have to own it. This is my life because before then I follow Kingsley Okoko. I listen to videos like back to back. So I have understanding to have knowledge. So I'm like I'm owning this. So June 19th, because we've been, of course we've been friends now, but there was nothing. So at the point where I was not like no, Bukola, I was not Bukola. Everything I want, she has. Like in the moon. Sit down, calm down, sit down.
Everything you want, she has.
Yes. So I'm like, the only thing is the God factor, like every other thing. So now this is starting with me. So I'm like, what? So how it came to me was I was in my sister, like then I stayed in my sister's place, and I was like, Peter, what else are you looking for? That was how it came. Like, what else are you looking for? So at that point, the thinking, that friendship, my own heart has changed. Right? Immediately, I picked up my phone. I said, I'm no longer seeing you as a friend, though. It has changed. Because that's my style.
You this brother, I don't know if you want your identity from.
Yeah, because if I continue that way without informing her, I will have, it has changed. She will be like, we are still friends.
Hold on. Did you not remember what you told her the previous year?
I remember now.
Did you not think that she probably would have moved on? And maybe she probably had somebody.
Yeah. No, I know there's no we be
okay,
friends,
because people are friends, so you knew that
friends now. If she has, I will know now. Do you get? So I just updated her immediately. Like do you get? So I just that's to also clarify that my OT change. I'm not seeing you in that. There's an update.
This is another level of audacity. Brothers, I hope you are learning. It's not easy.
Yeah. I'm not saying it will work out. It's just, we define the relationship from the beginning, friend. So, but to change in my own heart, of course, I could continue like, oh, we are still friends, and I'm not saying this. I'm trying to, so that it will be clear that, okay, this is it.
This is what we are doing.
Yeah. So at that point, it was now, okay, will God have me do this? You get? So at that point, I think, first of all, we now short communication, right? Let me allow her.
When he now came and told me, in fact, that period, my phone was stolen as one wedding I went for. So it was borrowed laptop I was using. I know what's happening. I saw that message from him in the night. What happened?
How did the message come? Tell me. How did you?
I cannot remember. But as he came, look at me since May. I said, I already pray. Somebody told me he settled. And then my mommy said, don't do a call. Maybe he said his message. I never bothered to waste time. Of course, it wasn't like an emphatic yes. But my response also let him know that there's green lights, that I was also already waiting for him to come back. I was like, okay, we need to see. So we met. And when we met, I told him, me, like I said, I can be very blunt. He's blunt, though, but I can be very blunt. So when we met, we both worked on the island now. So after work, we met in an eatery. So I told him, I said, see, me, I knew again to come. I've already prayed XYZ. I said, but
prayer machine.
I said, but this journey cannot proceed, we cannot even take it from here until we get to this point where both of us are like very certain. And from the beginning, we kind of understood that it was not going in the usual manner. I mean, our story is very, very unique. Someone that already had eye on someone else, I was fully aware. I didn't see him as a partner. Then along the line, it changed for me. I was just waiting for what next, God, and he came. So I told myself, we need to be very sure because there are going to be questions to be answered. People are going to come and tell us that. And it actually happened as we envisaged it. People are like, no, Bukola, it is the flesh leading you. Bukola, it is the flesh leading you. Bukola, it is this one. Peter, I said, it's going to happen. So both of us get to that point where you are very certain that this is what God will have you do. If not, when one person comes and say, this is it, with scatter. Another person will come, with scatter. I say, so, no communication.
This thing you say now is, I hope that people are listening and they're picking the lessons. This thing you say is extremely important because no matter how both of you say you love each other, if both of you do not have that very, very strong resolve that this is who I want to be with, questions will really come sincerely. In fact, at different points, it's not even at the beginning of your journey. You can even get, like you might have gotten into the marriage and people will come and ask you questions. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not sure I don't know whether my husband and I will want to talk about this later because some people literally were telling my husband like, Mary, why? People will want to, I'm telling you, people will not think that you are an adult who is making your own life decision. They want to be sure that, are you sure that this, and you know that me before that I used to actually quit my head. So, if we did not have that kind of very, very strong resolve, the things that people said or things that people will say would have had the capacity to really let you, almost doubt yourself that, am I really sure? So this thing is very important. I love that you are really emphasizing it.
In fact, it was very key because, the transition was quite short. This for someone that received someone in 2017. I knew, I'm like, you received someone 2017. You said, okay, you're moving on in 2022. And within like few months, you're coming to me. And because we've been friends, and there are some other backstories, I'm like, guy, see, if we are like, I said, we have to get to the point where you will be so certain that, because for me, I was like 100% certain already. But I needed to get that same like solid conviction from his own end. So I said, see.
Okay. Let me before this time, right? So at the initial stage, we got communication. Okay, we want to pray. Yeah. It was not.
But it was not Friday.
This happened when after Mommy Jaffe.
We felt for communication ourselves.
And we got communication like up to, it's not 2 or 3 times.
Our own.
And so that's right.
So our own was that night, that Friday. I told you, let's not talk.
I said,
don't call me. I told you, I said, don't call me until you are certain. Then after we went to not talk. Then later I came back.
I want to hear from Peter. Peter wants to say something.
The second time when you will talk, that first one, it was us that demanded it. The second one was where it was your spiritual mother that instructed us.
Exactly. That's what I want to clarify. So it was at that, what let me just clarify. She was at the initial stage, I said because communication, right? And we actually got leading. Like, in fact, at the time I got mine, she already knew, in fact, the date, she knows. So by the time we came back and we said, okay, this is what I got, this is what she received. So at the second time, so one of my mother in school, I call her mother in school, right? She came back to say, she was asking how far this. I told her, and I just like you said, it's very short. And she's like, Bukola Peter,
Are you
Hello,
sure?
but I'll go and pray. Oh, and she gave me instruction, right?
So,
Like I should not talk to her, right? That I should go and pray. And of course, when I say someone is my mother, like in school, she was like a mother
Yeah.
to me.
You respect
So,
what she says, yeah.
so as at that point, when I communicated that to her, no, it was like I am not sure of what I'm doing. So that's why I'm just protesting why she was bent on. We must be 100% sure, so that you will not be saying
I was
this.
mad.
You get. So we met in Anitra, and I saw my wife now in a
Okay,
new light
it's not Bukola in a different like that. Oh,
because she actually. And one thing is, she was 100% sure, like she was certain. So me now coming back to say, let's call
Want to,
communication. I
you want
did
to
it.
go and pray again.
I want to this like show. And that was because I don't want to disobey my mother in
Yeah,
gigates. So I was
yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
let me. So of course, and I also know that prayer is not bad.
Mm.
Prayer in the pray.
yeah.
Gigates.
Exactly. I pray every time I go
So
pray.
but at that point, I was, in fact, I can't forget that point. We were not talking. We were number
Yeah.
one. I know this. I know, like I said, it started with me, right? And God
Mm,
has told me that yes, He
mm,
has granted me what I desire,
mm,
right?
mm,
So now it was during that time I was reading the scriptures. I was
mm,
not God was showing me some things. So
mm,
on our mentor now, right? She just called me from the blues about the
You're
nonsense.
my mentor. It's my
from the
mentor.
blues, no, from the blues. Emma
Yeah,
Solo.
my mentor. I don't try hint to the family.
Is it not my mentor? I didn't know my mentor. So yeah, so the wife just called me and she was asking, okay, how far this, etc. What I say, and that's our counsel, the way she explained and interpreted the scriptures, and so like I was, when you are praying, you're like, God, I
Mm,
understand what marriage is. I know that's one of the things I take very very serious. Any
mm,
other thing can fail. I can
mm,
still, you can still get money, but marriage cannot. If it fail,
mm,
do you
mm,
get? So I know this
mm,
one. So even right from a very tender age, I know
mm,
marriage, and of
mm,
course, I have good parents that their
mm.
marriages are working. I
Thank
know.
God. Thank
Do
God.
you get? So I didn't
Mm.
know that yes, my marriage will it must work.
You must get
So
it right. This one.
after that call, I was like, okay. I think was it the following day or I've forgotten. I reached out to say, okay, this is what we are doing. I'm not sure I go back to that my spiritual. I'm not sure
Mm,
because I know that when you have some mentality too. I
mm,
understand the basis coming from. So I was just like, okay, this is what I want to
mm,
do. And that was very, very key for me.
mm,
That's second pray, like praying to get
Be
confirmation,
sure and
and it was very
reassure.
key for me, like very key for me, very key for me. Because one of the things our mentor, they asked me question when we were doing the, like, if this lady comes back, like if this lady now, the one that said no comes back,
Mm.
like what will I do? Do you get?
I get it.
So
What you
like
get?
what will I, so I need to be known
Be
that
sure.
is, do you get? I already, the what God showed me, like I already know that no, God closed that chapter. So at
Mm,
that point I knew that God actually closed that chapter. Like I was certain God closed it.
mm,
Then there's a new one.
mm,
So that was very key for me. Even
mm.
though it was not, I did not like that experience, but it was
The
very key. So
process.
at that point, and this one, no, no
Double
stories.
sure.
To be
Hey.
honest, that second time of not communicating was very hard. You know, the first one,
Ah,
it was us agreeing to say,
yeah,
don't call
yeah.
me until you're sure. But this second, I'm
Second
like,
one was
guy,
hard.
má pè mí mọ́.
Was
Don't call
hard.
me.
How
If
long did it take?
I blocked him.
How
I
long
blocked
did it
him.
take? Calm down. How long did it take?
How long? I remember I was up to a week. Or was it?
The second one,
Second one. What else a week?
You
no,
want
But I
to
blocked
and
him.
you're already partying,
I blocked him.
auntie.
He could not reach me. He had to call a mutual friend that was not in the country. That was like, please come online. People need to speak with you.
Yeah. Oh.
And why don't mind me, why I think why I did that was, I had said that I was already sure even before he came,
Mm.
right? And I was kind of prepared for whatever was coming because I thought people, I'm like, God has been leading me. In fact, I've been led to plenty brothers gone. Not plenty, let me not say plenty. I've led to a brother, of course, it takes two to tango, just like you said. That one didn't even surface. Even though we had like a situation, that's the way I used to think about it. The other one, we actually got into a relationship, but this one, the leading was very different. It was so different, and I was so certain. I had never been so certain about anything else
That's
in this
that's
life.
at the blush.
So you're not coming to tell me, pé,
You want
say
to go
sugar.
and pray again. I want
So
to be
it's not
double sure.
like you were not sure. You
Mm.
just wanted to. because I said you were short and say, but later on, to be honest, I came to realize that it was needed because subsequently he helped us in the course of our life. Because at that moment, I'm like, sure, you know that even some of my friends, some of them actually came back later to say, Bukola, in fact, no vessel. That I knew initially, I was like, even though I knew both of you were meant to be, I felt like it wasn't the right time. But later on, because some things now happened, I lost my dad that same year. And I was thinking like, God had planted him strategically at that moment because I thought I'm not even sure I would have survived that phase without his support. I mean, I'm not sure I would have survived that phase without support. Like we literally planned for the burial together. Talk about finance, talk about going to check out things, and he traveled down with me, with my mentor's wife, like friends. Like, like no, like one of them categorically came back to say, Bukola, I better go.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I apologize.
But initially, she felt like it wasn't the right timing. But with the situation that has happened, she felt like no, this was the right timing. It couldn't have been that time.
You see, with God, with God, I just always believe that God has everything perfectly planned out, and whatever God has said is going to be, that's what it's going to be. Like, it may not be the right timing in our eyes, but if God has said this is how it's going to be, that's how it's going to be. Oh my God,
that's how it's going to be.
Thank you. So you guys are now sure that this is what we want to do.
That was August now.
Yeah.
That was August.
The wedding was now the following year.
The following year. September that same year, my other brother was getting married. He now told me he was going to come. I say, hey, God, I better go. I got married. I took my home. It did not work. My brother is getting married. I want to. This person is called me. Hey,
this one don't work already.
So that was how he came home in September during my brother's wedding. After the whole wedding, paparazzi and all, my dad and my mom tried to see us. Then my dad was already ill.
Yeah.
He was already ill in September. So that wedding, in fact, thank God he was able to experience it. So at that wedding, after the wedding, my dad spoke with us, and it was then my dad was like, he now told me something that my mom already told him that I had not seen husband the first time I brought that person. And people did not tell me. And the time people did not tell me, they were like, how can you tell me now? So I would say that one that goes for me. I have to be the one to see it myself and all of that. My dad is not the kind of person that would be overly spiritual on things, right? But for when he was speaking with us that day, he looked like he knew he was not going to be around for our wedding because but I didn't understand it that time because I kept telling him that I get to be in my wedding. No, people have been asking me how fast is now, bring man up. But that night, it was very unusual. He told us to kneel down. He prayed for us. But my mom didn't pray, did she? I'm not sure mommy did. It was majorly daddy that prayed. He prayed, like really, really prayed for us. As if, he was giving
these
blessings.
Yes.
After that, he also spoke with us, gave us counsels. Even when they asked you questions, I think it was just one question they asked you.
I was the only one. So mommy had conversation with
you. To go.
so I think when she asked the first question, I answered. She was like, that the second question she wanted to ask me. I've answered already. So
let's fast forward. So how was the wedding planning process? Was it something just a walk in the park? You know how they say it. And how has been the marriage so far? So we're just going to use that to wrap up.
Okay, so
how was the plan?
The planning. Okay, I proposed, right? In October. That was on my birthday. Yeah, I proposed, and we planned to now do the following year, October, I think.
Yeah.
But we eventually wedded April.
We first was May.
Are you serious?
We had plenty dates in our head. We first was October because I wanted to be on my birthday. Later I'll say, October is for 1 year. What are we doing? Later, I think May 1st or so. Later we moved it to April 20 something. Then the wedding was supposed to happen in my parents' church. That was with him.
Okay.
So I think we gave them 2 days. Then I think something was going to happen one Saturday. We had to then eventually come to agreement for 22nd. That was the 3rd week in April.
Wow.
The planning was really smooth, to be very honest. And for me, God was in it from the start to the end. Because at that point in time, I got wedded, I think, exactly 6 months after my father passed.
Wow.
Exactly 6 months. And one of the things I tell people is that God was very intentional. The fact that my husband had come home, my husband, then I come home in September, my dad had given his blessings. So for me, I was like, there was no need to wait though.
Yeah.
The man had given his blessing, looked like he already knew. So my mom was in support. I met his own parents who went for PC. They were in support. I'm like, April is fine. Everybody's fine with it. Okay, let's do it.
Let's go.
We planned our wedding the way we wanted it. The way we wanted. Like it went if someone had asked me before if there's anything we would have loved to do differently. And I'm like, is there anything?
I love it. I saw the wedding pictures and videos, and I'm like, oh my Bukola. I was shocked and I was shook when I saw that it was Bro Peter. I'm like,
From where to where?
It's for just one woman, Mary. Of course, the place of knowledge was there, right?
Yeah.
But I know that it's just for one person.
It's just one.
So why will I be? I don't like it's for one person now.
I'm like, see, I remember then when I was praying, and I'm like, see, then when I was praying for like, marriage and all that, because again, on the outside, a lot of people used to think that, I was in a relationship, but I wasn't. And I remember that when I'm like, God, it's just one man I'm asking for. Why is this so? So now you ask only one person, and so I understood when you said it's just one woman. I really could understand it. What advice are you going to give to single people, who are looking unto God for a marriage miracle? And I want Bro Peter to talk, because I think that men, in quote, brothers, let me even say, a lot of brothers in our church, our we kind of thing, I feel like they have a lot of learning to do. That time when you said that you are like this kind of one-way person. When I'm with you, you know that I'm with you. I'm not going to lie, yeah. The way some of our Christian brothers do these days, yeah. They are with you, but they have an option somewhere. But in case you come and say no, I'm not even joking. Like I'm tired of it. Like they will not be like, okay, in case this person says no, so that I will not be. Do not look as if I wasted my time. Which when you hear it, it sounds like okay, well, okay, but what advice are you going to give to some of these? Because this is what they do, it's no good. I'm not gonna lie. This is no good. And the same way some sisters also do this thing. You know that you will not marry a brother. You know that you're not going to give him a yes. Why are you keeping him around you? Why are you making him feel as though you are committed to him? And you know that tomorrow you will still come and tell him that my answer is no. Then the following month, we will now say that you are getting married. You fear God. You fear God. Bro Peter, over to you, please. Just.
Yeah. So, this married thing, right? When I was growing up in youth section, sometimes I used to think that is it that my own salvation, is it that it's different? Because I'm serious. I'm being clear. I'm being practical there. Because I see what happens around, and I'm like, is it that I'm doing too much? Is it not this salvation that I have? Is it not the same thing that this person also have? Well, I'm like, if I'm saved, will I be doing this? If I'm so actually, I know there's okay when you are saved, you need to grow, right? I feel some persons probably because of their past too, because of their past, maybe they know how to talk to girl toast, so they still want to bring that into. Because I never had that experience because I got saved at a very tender age, right? So it's church, this, and not that I don't have friends close to me like that are female. In fact, in primary school, you always see someone that's a lady close to me. Secondary school, you know that this person is close to Peter. While I was in university, you know that we don't talk. We will not say, okay, be my friend, though. You just see us. This person is not even in university. This person is not even a member, not even the SCF. But when we are doing discussion, everybody knows that this person is a friend. And we never sat down to say this. So, but I'm just like, okay, there's some things I can't do as a Christian. Even currently, I hear cases. I'm like, it's nothing. Is this person safe?
That is the I love it. I think that's the fundamental thing.
Yeah, because there's something. If by the time I said we are friends, and I'm seeing her as that perspective I have about that, it's changed, for instance, and I'm still deceiving her and say we are friends, and in my own mind, that's where I see salvation. I should be clear to you. That's where I see it. So for me, I think fundamentally, are they Christian? Because if you're talking about love, there's a way to do it outside. There's a way to do it inside. So if you are doing it inside, there are some basic things that you should do.
And by inside, we mean in the Lord. There's a way to love in the Lord.
In the Lord. Let's be clear with that. Yes, in the Lord. So you are not of the world. In the world, then you do this, you toast, you sample yourself. No, it's one person.
We don't do that.
Not it. So I think, just like you said, because they know that this person might say no. Because if I didn't tell her that I had someone else, and I already sense that she is interested, of course you will know.
Yeah, you will know.
Yeah, you will know. So, and so if I do that, will I call myself a Christian?
No, that's it.
So that's fundamental. So for me, I feel it's that aspect of that Christ like
being a genuine child of God.
You will not, it's not, if it is not it, you will know it is not it.
I love it.
That's just basic for me. It's as simple as that.
Thank you, sir. And before I call this Pastor Peter, straight, focus, man. No, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Salvation is critical, and not be all this surface level salvation. Genuine in Christ. Auntie Bukola, over to you. 1 minute. What would you?
What's the
question? Advice to single people.
Okay, advice.
No, you have no advice. So I just spoke on.
You have summarized it.
Okay.
What advice should I give? I think the advice I would give, what I've said in the beginning, before you start a journey, be sure that God is in it, because beyond what, in fact, we're talking about what people will even say before. Beyond what people will say, even in the marriage, even for those of us who said who were led, it hasn't been a walk in the park, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was telling my husband sometimes, I'm like, even days when I'm really mad at you, I just tell myself, "Wait, I love you," because there's no way I'm going to. Moreover, like God was in it, God is in it, God will forever be in it. Like I'm very certain it was you. So no matter the challenge, no matter the issue that comes up, we'll sit down and solve it.
Yeah.
There's no going anywhere. So just imagine that God was not in it. Where do you run? So I'm really saying, like, people that live this life without Jesus, how did they take one? Because it's hard out there. You don't want to be without God. So for me, that's just the simple advice. Don't move an inch without God. Don't move because you will need Him. Love, leading, they are all beautiful. It's good. Love this person, it's very good. But you need to carry Jesus with you, because when you enter the ship and there's a storm, you can easily tap and say, "Daddy, please wake up. I know that told us to come back on this journey."
I love it.
Solve it. And it has worked.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's been an interesting conversation. I really just want to say thank you so much for coming. Sorry. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You are faithful unto us. You have been faithful to Buki. You have been faithful to the whole of this. You have been faithful to our friends. That we worship you. We give you all the glory. You are the last and the in Jesus' name we pray. Wow.
said yes.
I can't hear the next one. Shey we carry cake. Na who is the will you marry me cake? Oh my God, what do I call that session? Oof. That was such a oh my God. That was an interesting gist. You'll agree with me. That was an interesting story, and I really just want to say a big thank you, to everyone who watched. Thank you for watching. Thank you for. There's so much to unpack, honestly, and it just shows that God works in really marvelous ways, in really marvelous ways, and He still leads His children. So, for so many who are, hoping unto God, praying unto God for, marriage miracle, for love, beautiful love story written by God. God is still in the process, God is still in process. He still writes beautiful love stories, and I'm sure that He's writing yours also. So this is me joining my faith with yours, and just encouraging you to keep on holding on to God and be a genuine Christian, true and true. Thank you so much. Remember to like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, and of course drop a word of prayer, for my amazing guest. Until I see you again in another video, continue to live joyful, continue to stay happy, and of course continue to live in the will of God. See you. Bye.